It's about to get crazy.
You always use that active and defending.
I think it's like
People, Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. I hope everyone's well and safe. Good afternoon to those of you in the UK. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and in some cases, good night. I apologize for starting an hour later than I normally do, people, but I just really wanted to go to the gym. You know, obviously it's about physical health and things, but yeah, man, I just wanted to clear my mind and whatnot and make myself feel a bit happier. So I went and done that, people. So we're here now. Please make sure you're hitting the like button in early doors, people. On that note, as you lot know, it's Champions League. That means two other bits of live content. Besiktas versus Borussia Dortmund first. That's going to be at Twitch or over on my Twitch channel at 5:20 today. So make sure you're there. Links are all in the pinned message, and links are obviously floating in the live chat. On that, again, then it's Real Madrid versus Inter Milan, where I'll be back over here on YouTube and I'll be live from around 7:40, I believe, something along those lines. So yeah, make sure you've downloaded Twitch, you're following and subscribing, and you're doing whatever you need to do. Tyrese, I appreciate that, man. If only everyone was like you there, man. Appreciate you live from Planet X, because it's stupid o'clock as it always is in Australia. I saw the title and clicked on the video straight away. I appreciate that. And yeah, man, there isn't too much to talk about. I mean, Bukayo Saka is always going to get linked with moves and all of these things. And, you know, he's going to, I personally take it as a compliment. Bukayo Saka's linked with a move, because we've actually got a player that's half decent, that's wanted by people. I don't think he's going to leave yet, but there will come a time, as you lot know, where no matter how much he might love the club or whatever, you've got one career. And right now, let's be real, he's in a very privileged position. By all means, Saka is in that position because he's taking his chances, because he's consistent, because he's got ability. You know, it's a mutual exchange. He's been given a platform by Arsenal and he's playing week in, week out. If he goes to these elite clubs, you know, the scrutiny is going to be even more. You know, there's already a little bit of scrutiny now. You know, the honeymoon period is kind of over for Saka. Even against Norwich, if I'm real, I'm thinking, you know, you could have played a lot better in that game, and also goals and assists. You know, it's no longer just a naive moment. So they're already coming. So if you was to move for big money somewhere, there's going to be an issue. Right now, I think his development is best served at Arsenal or a club where he's going to play. Obviously, right now, he might be one of the elite players and best players, regardless of age for us. But he's 19, 20 years of age. I think he just had his birthday. He's played a lot of times for Arsenal from a young age, and he's continuing to do that. Obviously, as he keeps developing and he keeps getting more and more caps for England, he's going to have to look left and right and say, I'd like to play Champions League. I might want to go and play under a manager that's winning stuff and can improve me and things. There's going to come a question. And obviously, not just Saka, Smith Rowe, potentially Odegaard, Ben White, all of these guys, if they develop to the stature we believe they can or what we bought them for, they're all going to look around and question the collective project. You know, you've got mediocre players, you know, you've got XHAKA, Bellerin and LENO, who have been considering their futures year in, year out. So the actual good players are going to. Right now, I don't think there's anything to worry about. I don't think Saka is going to force a move. I don't think he's going to look to move. But at the same time, the longer Arsenal fail to achieve stuff or fail to look like a football team, not just Saka, people are going to look left and right and might be considering their future and if they can go elsewhere. I've been saying it, and I know you lot have heard me say it before. I personally feel within the next 12 months to 18 months, Saka needs to be close to 100k, because I'd be looking to get that. I play for England. I'm one of the best players here. You know, I'm pretty sure Granit Xhaka and these players, regardless, they earn a lot more than me, you know, but I'm as important to the team than them. I've got longevity. It's going to take big money to get Bukayo Saka for what it's worth as well. You know, it probably take you, well, Arsenal will sell for a lot cheaper, but potential's a big buzzword. I'm trying to get 100 million for him, whether he's worth it or not. And let's be honest, as much as I love Bukayo Saka, he is not worth them sums. Like I said, he's not prolific enough in front of goal. If I spend that money on someone that's going to play on the left or the right, there's issues there. So, you know, the longer it goes, and we've actually given ourselves a decent platform, we've actually tying him down, to be fair. But, you know, the longer Arsenal fail to look like a football team, fail to have ambition, he's going to have to ask himself the question. You know, loving the club and all these things only go so far, people. And then he gets older, the youthful naivety wears off, people, really and truly. So, yeah, it is what it is in that regards, man. Before I carry on, what else are you lot been saying as well? In fact, I might as well just, in relation to Saka, it's all primarily come out of Fabrizio Romano, and everyone's just latched on it, people. Bukayo Saka is reportedly starting to receive transfer approaches from several clubs. And I mean, he's playing for England. He's one of the youngest players in our squad. He's got longevity. He's actually a good player. You'd expect everyone to be monitoring developments if and when the time comes, much like when we was trying to get him to sign that deal. And we're quite lucky. And big up Saka for signing that new deal when he did sign it at the time, people. Again, Saka has to show that I'm not being funny. You know, he could get a move. He could do all of these things. And he's earned that number 7 shirt. Now, man, I have to see you wear it on a bowl seating. Like I said, we can't have a number 7 not scoring and not assisting and not making a difference. Again, love to Bukayo Saka, but he ain't even proven, regardless of Arsenal is where we are right now, he ain't lived up to that number 7 yet. Same way, no disrespect to him. Same way with Smith Rowe. Do that first, and then other things happen. Because you can't go and play for City with Pep if you're not doing things. You can't go and challenge for league titles and whatnot. And the scrutiny is only going to get worse. Saka's an elite footballer. He's one of the best young players about. And yeah, man, you know, maybe in a year or two we might have something to worry about. But at least for now, I don't think we do. But for what it's worth, Saka is reportedly starting to receive transfer approaches from several clubs. And like it says here, he's gone on to become a key man for club and country. I don't understand how. I know money's not everything, but I'm not being funny. 80 to 100 grand a week, Saka, you need to go out and claim that. You got guys like Kolasinac on that sort of money. I can't lie. You know, I think we need to give this guy a new deal soon. Again, money's not everything, as he's shown. But yeah, Romano has claimed the England star has been approached by a few clubs after obviously becoming a key man for both teams he plays for, club and country. Arsenal have no intention of selling Saka as they consider him untouchable. As we know, he's played 20 times. He's turned 20, sorry, and he's played 93 times for Arsenal since making his debut as a 17-year-old in 2018. And he's played a bunch of positions: left back, right back, centre mid, 10, left, right. You know, again, want to see a bit of stability on the club's part in letting him develop. But it is what it is. Romano said some clubs are starting to approach Bukayo Saka as he's one of the best players in his position for the future. Arsenal consider him untouchable. They're planning to build on players like Saka, and that's good for Saka. Again, as long as we can match his ambitions, I assume at this moment in time we can. But there might come a time where Saka says, you know what, you can't. And for me, I hear that as exciting. If they're trying to build things around me, I'm doing it with the Haaland boys and other young players. Cool. And, you know, I don't know how much he's an Arsenal fan and things, but it's a good situation. There's going to come a time where he's going to have to remove emotion and look at that situation for what it's worth. You know, everyone has a price. No, in Arsenal, it probably won't be what Saka's worth. But for me, I can't let this moment in time, 80 to 100 million, I don't think he's worth that. But if you offer that to me, you can get me in a negotiating room for him. And like I said, he needs to improve his finishing. And that might be another reason. Say he says, I can't improve it. Let's just say, for argument, I don't think this is it, but for argument's sake, Arteta can't improve me as a striker. As an attacking player individually, I'm not scoring. Our whole team doesn't score and we don't attack. Can I go somewhere, if it could happen, City, wherever, you know, Liverpool, you look at how they use wide players, whether he plays a left, whether he plays a fullback in that system or on the flanks and whatnot. To be honest with you, if I'm Liverpool, I'm trying to get Jeremy Doku or Kareem Adeyemi, another player Arsenal should get. But yeah, man, that's it in relation to Bukayo Saka, people. Really, that's all my 2 cents on Bukayo Saka's situation. So yeah, man, hopefully it doesn't get to that, man. Exactly, he's worth 50, 60 at most, Brian, at this moment in time, if we're real with ourselves. But potential is a buzzword, you know. He's now an England international. He's playing regularly for Arsenal. Again, I've seen worse players go. Sigurdsson's gone for 50, 60. So I'm trying to get more than that, if I'm honest with you. And I've seen a couple of players that have got to hang on this potential thing, go for less as well, go for a lot more as well. So again, if I was buying Saka at the way he's playing right now, I'm slapping 50, 60. If I'm Arsenal, I'm trying to get something unrealistic, 80 to 100. So it's not happening, is it? And there's a lot of development. And there's also, you know, for Saka, it could be worth, you're only 20 years of age. Yeah, he's been playing since he's 17, but you're 20. You know, when you move to these clubs, there's crazy scrutiny. Crazy scrutiny. You know, it could be worth just staying, developing, and giving yourself half a chance. Because if you go to Bayern, if you go to City and these sort of things, you're not just a young player. You're a young player on extreme wages that's been bought for big money. So let's see how that one develops. Hit the like button if you haven't already. If Maddison is worth 60, 70, he must be worth 80. If anyone offered 70, 80, I think we should take that. Oof. It will get me considering things. Pick up the members 1-1 and see Robin. Good morning, guys. Make sure you're hitting the like button. Come on, shout out to my Nightbot. As he said, get all your DG merch. Go to the store. It's in the live chat and whatnot. And it's actually pinned in the description. Well, not pinned, but it's there. Kai's been saying, been working hard. Finally can watch some DG. Hope you man are all blessed. Yeah, we are, man. Pick up yourself, CS. I'm bringing you to my team, DG. I don't know about that. I don't know about that, my guy. I'm signed in that, but yeah, bro. Try. I know nobody believes me, but I will let it ride out. But I will let it ride out on these clubs who try. I will ride out on these clubs who try to sign Saka. You know in your heart you're not gonna do nothing, man. No one that's gonna go on the glide is gonna pull it on socials, bro. But yeah, it is what it is, man. Again, and you are right. Clubs add a premium for potential. This buzzword, killing them. I'm not comparing Saka to Mbappe, and in time to come, Mbappe is going to prove he's worth 200 million. But at the time they bought him, at the time PSG bought him from Monaco, he's nowhere near worth 200 million. The money that Martial, that United spent to obtain Martial, the money that was spent on Kai Havertz. Again, I'm not saying these are bad players, but potential is the new buzzword. Real Madrid have bought, every Brazilian player who makes a bit of noise and they say they're the next this and that. Real Madrid swoop them up and things like that. Only exception I would probably say is Ansu Fati and Pedri, because again, Pedri was bought for really pennies, and obviously Ansu Fati come from the academy. You've got Martinelli as well, who cost pennies as well. Love for the super chat. Selling for 70 million and get Coleman. Nah, bro. Nah, G. Nah. I can't get behind that one there, but I hear you. It's not killing gangsters, bro. That's not gangster, bro. He's not gangster. I don't know anything about that. Big up DG. Is Saka only on 30k a week? Apparently, he signed 30, 40. To be fair, at the time, it was, I wouldn't say it's respectable for Saka, but you could understand it. It's a humble thing. Now, bro, you need to be getting 100k, because again, it's you get what you're worth. If this is any other job in life, you want to be paid accordingly, let's be real with ourselves. And I'm not saying Saka is that hungry for money and all these things. I'm just simply saying he will sign a deal. If I'm Saka, I'm trying to get 80 to 100 grand. I'm trying to get 100 grand, because I look around, people and certain people are punching. So I'd be trying to punch as well, people. I did, like I said, man, in the next 12 to 18 months, in my opinion, you get Saka, you try to get Saka on a new deal. In the same way, in the next 12 to 18 months, you need to understand what you're doing with these players that are contracted until 2023. And that actually, we can actually skip slightly ahead, people, because that sets me up for one of my timestamps. If I'm completely honest with you, 1 second, people. It's easy for me to just sit here and say these things, but for me, I believe in learning from hindsight and applying better foresight. You need to know you need to replace a man before they need replacing, sort of thing. As I said at the time as well, when Aubameyang signed that deal, obviously hindsight, he's not doing the business right now, but when he signed that deal, that's when you should be looking at a striker. You don't need to necessarily buy them, but that's that 1 to 3 year period to find a striker, you sort of thing. It's about succession planning. And I think you're going to need to do a lot of that. We're going to talk about it after this, but you hear Arsenal want a centre mid and a striker in January. That's clearly, shout Emery, he's on TV. That's going to be affected by who we shift and don't shift, right, people? But at the same time, we need to know what we're doing. Now, for what it's worth, I can't imagine we don't know what we're doing with players already. Like I said, all these players that are halfway out the club, I'd say with the exception of Bellerin and obviously XHAKA staying, I think anyways, you can kind of take an educated guess as to, I don't want the TV to turn off, an educated guess as to who Arteta likes and don't like. Like Guendouzi, it's an obligation to buy, assuming certain variables are hit with Marseille. Same sort of trailer thought goes with Mavropanos, so they're probably gone. You hear Saliba, we're going to sit down in the summer and say, should we sign a new deal or not? For me, again, I think that's childish and that's silly, because even if you say Saliba's not making it here, you've got an asset, Like in life, now I ain't got mad assets, but I could imagine some businessmen have assets that they want to keep in their company or in their possession, because it's valuable. And there's some that, they're valuable and it earns money, but I don't really want to do that. I'd rather just take the cash. That could be something with Saliba. Now, again, I want Saliba to stay, be given an opportunity and things, but every week the opinion changes. He's playing for Marseille. He's doing quite well initially. He's loved in France. The whole potential buzzword we're speaking about, especially when it comes to French players, described as a Rolls Royce as a centre-half, playing in Europa League. That could be money for you. Same way you spent 50 million on Ben White, you might be able to get 50 for Saliba if he develops, and spend that on whatever you want, which I wouldn't have much confidence in. But I'm making it about Saliba. You've got Torreira, you've got Leno. Now, Leno's probably going to go as well. You've technically got Maitland-Niles. Now, you've got Bellerin. Now, some of these guys can change opinions. And I'm not purposely not talking about the 2021 deals, but this is where we need to know what we're doing already, which I can't imagine we don't, because as we kept saying, this is all... The club keep making out this is year 1 of planning. Now, Arteta's been here for 2 years, but they're making out this is year one. All right, cool. You know, not everybody's gone that needs to go. Probably, clearly, not everyone's brought in, but this is your quote unquote first real season. As they keep saying, there's been a big turnover in terms of ingoings and outgoings. We all know that the recruitment that's coming and the drive with the young players. So this is year one. You know, let's get a back five with Tierney, with TT, with Ramsdale, ideally, with Ben White and Gabriel, obviously Lokonga, Partey, who, you know, I'd assume actually XHAKA and Partey / Lokonga, you know, Odegaard and Smith Rowe are in the mix. You've got Martinelli, Saka. You've got all of these guys from late teens to mid-20s sort of thing, right? It's just about getting a base level, getting them playing to a standard. And then next season, it's about probably injecting a bit of quality. Like for me personally, an upgrade on Granit Xhaka. For me personally, I'd actually like a wide forward, you know. I'd like someone like Salah. Like again, it's easier said than done, but Salah can play everywhere in it. You can put him through the middle, you can play on the right, you know, you can do your thing in that regard. So I would like that, but clearly the club want a striker, and I'm cool with that. But the club clearly have that. So if you know you're looking for a striker, you know you're looking for a midfielder, I hope you need to know who you're getting rid of and whatnot. And we're probably betting on a lot. You know, Bellerin allegedly, I never watched it, and he's going to play tomorrow in the Europa League, so I'll probably catch that. But apparently, had a positive start for Betis in his debut. Now, again, they've all got buy options. You know, Torreira at Fiorentina made his debut. That's an option to buy. Bellerin, that's an option. So let's just say best case scenario, them and they are gone. These clubs want to take them permanently. All right, but we face the prospect of having these guys come back for another year. Now we all know how long it took probably to move them on this year. You know what's going to happen then? Obviously, you know, you're going to get a lot of resources freed up with Lacazette, Kolasinac, El Nene. You know, I don't want to just to paint a picture. It's not really, they're not really earning that much, or more than me. But you've got Nketiah, a lot of these 2022 contracts. So you need to know in January the impact of whoever you bring in, people really and truly. What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen in that regards? We might as well just make this 2 timestamps because I'm kind of cutting over the content. For what it's worth, though, and we know we've allegedly spent significant money. And again, Edu kind of mentioned, I can't remember the exact terminology, and hit the like button if you haven't. He was saying things along the lines of this year we'll sign a lot, maybe we'll sign 1 or 2 or 3 players in years to come. So again, they need to know what they're doing. And for what it's worth, though, Brighton journalist now, Aiden J. Wood, now Brighton journalist. Bissouma never left this summer. Apparently, we want a holding midfielder. Bissouma ain't got long left on that deal. I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but again, why is he, of all people that's saying that, you know, that's saying this, you lot can read it before I read it. Why is it a Brighton journalist talking about Arsenal? Again, I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist. I'm not saying there's something there. We don't know, but could that mean we're going for Bissouma in January? Not just us, you know, I think United, definitely when you see bullshit like they did in the Champions League yesterday, they need to go for Bissouma. He's been linked with Liverpool. There's probably a bag of other clubs interested as well. Whether they move for him is another thing. You know, in my world, we'd go for Karim Adeyemi and Bissouma based on this. But Aiden J has said it won't be the levels of money we've seen this summer, but Arsenal have already started looking into the potential signings for January and the summer. A holding midfielder still remains of interest, so does a striker. Now, I don't think we're going to do a striker in January. Maybe anything's possible, but I don't think we are, because is Lacazette going to leave? You know, you're hoping to get some sort of finances for Eddie Nketiah, or maybe it's worth Eddie sitting on his hands for a year, depending on how much football he's got. You know, Kolasinac and El Nene, they're probably not going to leave. So you've still got they might not be strikers, but their wages on the club. And you've still, you know, got the aspect of, you know, again, players that are on loan, they might have to come back. So you might have to absorb that financial problem. And there's still other players that might leave. So I can't imagine, unless it's a potential striker, someone that's a bit of a lesser known name. I can't really see it being the ones that we're linked with all the time. Apparently, Karim Adeyemi's 20 million euros. So make of that what you will. We don't even need to worry about if he's cup tied for Euros or European football or not. Boy, it's a madness. But holding midfielder, that's interesting, because where does that leave us now? The holding midfield term is subjective. You know, a holding midfielder doesn't necessarily have to be a defensive mid. Now, for me, I would see logic in getting Bissouma. Again, there's a bit more still. You know, it takes further pressure off if Partey's injured or not. You know, Lokonga has scope to be a young man and develop. It gives us options to flirt between, you know, 2 good options, really and truly. 3 in Bissouma, Lokonga, and Partey. I'm not going to sit here and lie, though. I still think you need to get. It doesn't have to be Alwar or Gamares, or we can't get Locatelli, but you need to go and get a midfielder or two whose strengths equally are about going that way. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, you grab Bissouma, you grab Lokonga, and you grab Partey. There won't be two. There will be games you could go with a flat midfield three like that. And there'll be need for it. And I'm not discrediting it, but I just feel when we're playing against a low block, on the best of days, we can't break teams down. Now, they can all pass the ball forward, but that's not their skill sets. Bissouma isn't in that Brighton squad, to pass the ball forward and look wavy. It's to do what you saw him do the other week, where he snatched it, he snatched it high up the field and they went on to score. Same kind of with Partey, the same with Lokonga. In the same way, if you sign a more expansive guy, don't get it twisted, you need them to defend, but again, you won't probably see the levels. And that makes me think, how much finances do we have then? Did we have a significant sums available to do further business and for an elite player, or what we would call elite, and we just left it because the timing and the conditions weren't right? Has there been a few more bob injected into this club? Is there going to be movement again? Because you can imagine when the window starts in January, Leno's linked with a move, Bellerin might, this and that, Maitland-Niles, Cedric, all these guys' names, Lacazette's going to be linked with here, there, and everywhere. So it'll be interesting. But again, there has to be planning, really, real planning. And it comes by knowing what we're going to do, because obviously this COVID market, not really an excuse, because people have sold people, but we're probably betting on the start. Are we hoping that the market conditions are better, and with a year left on a couple of these players' contracts, people might take a chance on them? I don't know, people, but we're gonna need to make a decision quickly on a couple of these players, people. You've got to make a decision on Maitland-Niles and see what you can do there. Finally, you've got Leno contracted until 2023, doesn't want to be here. Technically, Aubameyang's here, but we know that's his last deal. And there's a couple more. You've got Torreira and all of them guys as well. So decisions are going to have to be made. I don't know why that's why I ain't brought it up. The website's not showing all of it. But yeah, man, let me go on the players on loan. Arsenal contract lengths. Because there's definitely more players. There's more players than this. Sorry, folks. Yeah, man, active contracts. This is messing up the settings, folks. But yeah, you get the point. Like, obviously. No, I'm cool, man. I don't need this. What the fuck is this? This is one. Oh, this thing is just in the middle of it. People that I don't know what I can't even. Oh yeah, here we go. Finally, I think there's some progress. So yeah, again, wish there was, certain things where you could put them in categories, but you look at people contracted until 2023. We know who's contracted until 2022. We can talk about it, but this is about foresight. Now, obviously, in the next couple of months, you need to be phasing out players if you can. If you can get money for Kolasinac, if you can get money for Eddie, Lacazette, and Nketiah, the players that need to keep it moving, in it, people. But it's the other ones that's futures are quite blurred as well. You're going to need to think about what's going on with Pepe, because you're going to need to decide what you're doing there, if you can do anything. But you've got Bellerin until 2023, Leno until 2023. Kolasinac is gone. Where's a couple of others? There's a couple more in this side. Mavropanos, who's gone with an option to buy. Guendouzi, who's gone with an option. With an obligation, assuming conditions are hit. Now, if these conditions, whatever they are, that triggers this 9 million buy option in Guendouzi's thing. If it doesn't happen, what is going to happen with him? What's going to happen with Bellerin? What is going to happen with several of these players, people? So again, you need elite foresight, and then you start looking at the next 3 years. And you always want to start doing deals 18 months before the deal is done, or in and around that period, giving yourself and the opposition some time to negotiate, people. Because then 2024, Renison lull. But you've got what's it, Saliba. You've got Saliba there. You've got Cedric. Unfortunately, you've got Marie. 2 players who really shouldn't be contracted until that long. We just said Pepe. It's going to be an interesting one. What's going to happen there, people, really and truly. Bukayo Saka again, who we spoke about a bit earlier. So again, Edu and these are going to need foresight, and actually those above him are going to need foresight, because the mission should remain the same, whatever you lot are trying to do. What happens if Edu and Arteta, because everyone seems, I'm not trying to be a Demi Downer, but it seems like it's all toxic when we lose, and it's the best place ever, and there's no pressure coming out from anywhere when we beat Norwich, not knowing that we're still in the negative sort of thing. Do you get it, people? So these lot's jobs are still on the line. So if these lot leave, what are we gonna do? Who picks up the slack? So I hope the people above them, or just or the club as in general, have a collective mandate and know the direction they want to move in. If they don't, you already know what's gonna happen, people. It's stuff that's been happening already where we're concerned. Make sure you're hitting the like button, people, and you're setting your reminders. You're hitting the like button on my Inter Milan live watch along as well, people. As you lot can see, make sure you're all there. Big up Daniel for being first. Big up Lebert for becoming a member. And shout out Shay for just being there as well. He's right. I hope this game is more exciting than Bayern Munich. That game was tired yesterday. Never did I think United versus Young Boys was going to be the better game. And obviously on that same topic as well, people, I'm going to be doing Besiktas versus Borussia Dortmund. That's live from 5:20 on Twitch. So again, make sure you're there. Don't miss a beat. And make sure you're following and subscribing on Twitch as well. I don't want you lot to miss any live streams. One love to everyone who doesn't miss a beat and they're here. So yeah, what are you lot saying, people, man? I will let Holding, forgot Holding, about Holding, my guy. I will let Holding, Collage, that's Chambers, Marie, Cedric, Nketiah, Pepe, El Nene, Lacazette, all of them leave in January. Assume someone's going to buy them, people. And it's probably not realistic to assume they all go. I do think Eddie you could do something for Eddie. I don't think Marie and Holding are going to be let go. Chambers, I don't think he's going to be forced out the door, but they will probably listen to offers. El Nene, Lacazette, they've got a year left, so they have to listen to offers. But I think we'd be lucky to get at least two of them names you said gone, if I'm completely honest with you. And yeah, no one is buying Pepe for that as well, man. Well, go on, my bro. Hope you're good. Would love to watch the game again and analyze properly. Come on. Just letting man's deals run down like we have money to give away. The maths ain't mathing. We only have 100 likes and there's 300 odd people. As Stylish has said, you don't need to pattern that. Unexpected high bills for all of you who have not hit that like button. True, we need to be extending or selling anyone on a deal to 2023. And you see, like, you just need to know what you're doing. I never get the vibe that we know 100% what we're doing or attempting to do. Man said zoom in more. Apologies, my guy. I did just see that now, man. Unlove, my guy. Do you think we should sell our star boy Saka? Come on now. Bissouma would be perfect in Arsenal's midfield. Be perfect in a lot of midfielders, man. Let's get the likes up, everyone. It helps the vid be seen by more people. Love, my guy. Let Leno leave. We are only better with him. Pepe, Oba all going to AFCON. PARTEY going to AFCON as well as Bissouma. Bissouma is very good. I don't mind him coming, but I think we should be focused on creativity from deep. And that's where I'm at, because I want them. They make our midfield better. He's a great player and all of these sort of things, but I just don't think we have enough going forward, bro. Like we haven't got players that are midfield maestros and things like that. Our midfield is just guys that can do a bit of everything to a decent standard. Need someone who knows they're a DM and does it to a great standard. Lokonga could be that. But again, we have to give Lokonga time to grow. Same way I won't say he's set the world alight, but he started well. There's going to be negative patches and things like that, man. On a 5-minute delay, 80 million is not enough. I'd want 120 million for Saka, boy. SALIBA seems like a very marketable player, brand and all that. A lot of signings only done because you think you can make some money off the player and sell to follow. It's a gold rush, isn't it? The only people who make money, real money in a gold rush, are the people who sell the shovels. That's what I get from Arsenal. It's like I don't really know what we're doing with SALIBA. It's just like we just realize, there's crazy potential in France. We can't miss out on something. Everyone's grabbing something. We need to get something. So it might be that, I do think people take it over the top with SALIBA because I think if you watch him, there's a lot he's going to learn. There's a lot of mistakes he'll make in the Prem. I don't think he's the Messiah, but I think he has a lot of potential. And I definitely think he should be playing at this football club. Or better than that, I definitely think we should have had more clarity over his future since he signed for this club. We haven't quite known what's going on. Okay, you're going on loan because of this. 1 minute you're staying, you're staying sort of thing. So it is one of them. I don't think, again, it's not what I think, and maybe things change, but I just don't think Arteta fancies him. I just think he's going to stay safe, man. It is what it is. Keep it moving. But even that's another deal to extend. EG, how many of Arteta's signings have actually delivered results? It's interesting. We'd actually have to look at who has he technically. So that, to be fair, he's good. I like Gabriel, but the jury's still out. Do you know what it is? It's less on the signings, and it's me more looking at them and like, Arteta, can you use them? You know, you've asked for Ben White, cool, make him look wavy. You've asked for Ramsdale, make him look like the number one. You know, you've asked for Odegaard, start making us create some chances. I like Partey, but what's going on? Why can't you lot keep him fit? So it's not really a signings thing for me. It's like, what are you doing with the guys you're signing? Obviously, you've got the Maries, you've got Cedric. I understood the Marie one. He just underwhelming. I didn't understand Cedric and Willian and all of these sort of guys. Of course, it doesn't need to be said. They're not levels in it. Willian, the best example. But in terms of the ones that quote unquote fit some sort of mandate that we're trying to have, it's more so me looking at Arteta, and it's like, you've got a couple tools, you're not using them in the right way, really, really and truly. It's like you've got a fork in your hand and you're using it backward, you're using it the wrong way. So you're not going to be able to hold your food and cut it up with a knife and all of that, are you? So again, as we always say, you know, a tradesman can only work as good as the tools he's got. Sometimes it's like Arteta has been it's like he has to dig a grave with a toothpick at times. But at the other end of that spectrum, you know, a good tradesman gets a job done with their tools. And I do think Arteta is hard done by at times, but I do think he comes across or the club comes across as a spoiled child, like a child who gets new toys, doesn't know how to use the toys to the best of their ability, doesn't really play with it enough, and then just looks for a new one. You know, you need to get stuff out of what you have. And I can't answer the simple question of, do I think Arteta has maximized what's in front of him? Because I do think there's a lack of balance. You know, a lot of these Arsenal players are not levels, cannot take us forward. But a lot of them are also, or the squad is definitely better to have a bit more application and less more of these question marks and these problems than I have there, than we have, that I have and you have. And on that topic, the players need to fix up, but also it comes down to the gaffer. When we win, you can't praise the gaffer to high heavens. And when we lose, can't just say it's the players. It's everyone playing and losing and winning together, you know, and drawing and etc. So, boy, make of that what you will. Big up yourself, Tommy. What are you lot saying? Suman Dybala in January, dream chasing. Hope your goodwill. Man said peace plus Musiala, and we can talk if one of those clubs are buying. You man's chest is high. The D and DG must stand for Diamond Eye, right? Yet again, and Kareem Adeyemi. Aye, man, I don't know. I just watch football, bro. You know, and he's just a footballer that, you know, you see the tweet from 2019. He's a player that I've loved, man. I ain't got no Diamond Eye. I just love to follow football, man, and see these young players, and that's where it's done, man. What's he lot saying? For me, we are to get rid, I think you're saying, of Holding, Chambers, Cedric, and El Nene, and get back to Rare and Guendouzi. Arsenal need to find a replacement for Pepe since inconsistent display from Pepe. To be fair, I think Pepe's calm. He's not going to be the guy to lean upon and pause and take us forward. But yeah, man, I think he's calm. I think we need to get over the Torreira and Guendouzi thing now. They're gone now, man. They're gone. Like, it's over. And to be honest, Torreira, I don't want him back. On ability, yeah, I like him. I think he could go, but commitment's not there. I would, you know, if anything, Guendouzi would come back. But I think we just, as Guendouzi lovers from a footballing sense, just need to accept that boat has sailed. It's gone now, man. It's gone. There's no hope of him coming back. Obviously, there's a glimmer of hope that somehow he can, but I can't see it, man. I can't see it. He's gone now. He's a Marseille player, and we're just gonna say, what if? We need a center. We need a new center forward, DG. Someone like Haaland, like your stream, DG. I appreciate that, but yeah, Haaland's a madness, man. When's the last time we had a proper six? Because that's what I want to see. To be fair, Partey and Lokonga could do that. I want to see midfield maestros, man. I don't see enough bravery in possession. Like, I'm tired of I'm gonna be real, people. That's the biggest thing I have a problem watching Arsenal. Among all the problems stress me, but it's the level of balling. Like, I'm a spoiled Arsenal fan. I can't lie to you, man. I'm 95. I was coming into this thing invincible and all of that. And away from that, when we started to get rubbed out, I was still a bit spoiled in that I was seeing quote unquote champagne football with some crap players. I can't take how we play football. It's not exciting. Like, forget trophies and everything. Football is meant to be exciting. It's meant to galvanize emotion. It's meant to galvanize the fans. And I don't get that because it's tired. Like, we won on the weekend, bro. It was tired, man. The goal we scored was terrible. It's like, It's Sunday. It's not even Sunday. I see better goals scored in the Sunday in the Barnet League and that. Like I can't take it. Like that's one thing that stresses me. Like I need to see good football again. And then that comes with bravery, patterns of play, all of these sort of things. I'm tired of it, man. I can't take it. Like I can't take all of this backwards, forwards, not even forward, backwards some more, forward and backwards, slow, 5-yard passes. You know, we could throw a cloak on everybody. I can't take that, man. I can't, people. So that's for me. I need to see bravery. I need to see some midfielders that have some technical level, man. Some real technical level. It is into the club now. We should just stick someone like LeBron James up front, but knowing Arsenal will stop crossing. Like, yeah, unfortunately, Trist, he joined Mets, man. He's not good though. His style's not good. He's not good. We have to start agendaing him. Once you do that, you have to get agenda. Teeny kind of dropping right now. Morning to you, Noah, as well, man. Big up yourself. Saka, Lokonga, etc. are great young talents, but they need players who can cover for them with similar skill sets. There's too much pressure on them otherwise. Will, you said it, man. Need an Alexis type forward. I mean, you got Martinelli. Use the guy. Get Bissouma regardless of AFCON, then get a creative midfielder from deep. Then all of a sudden, the engine room at Arsenal has good depth. Facts. I might be greedy and it ain't going to happen, but for me, you get 2 8s. Pardon me, you get 2 number 8s, maybe like one of a similar skill, similar type to Lokonga. He can grow and develop and all of that stuff. You've obviously, you signed someone who's 30 ready right now. You've got some wealth of options there. It goes without saying, XHAKA, El Nene, keep it moving. You know, if there's injuries and bodies dropping, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, you might be able to fill in, but it's a right back thing, my guy. You and TT, this is you in it. And then suddenly it looks all right. You've got Smith Rowe and Odegaard who can still be trained as 8s, still obviously do the 10 thing, still be used out wide, still if they're not doing their jobs, not be in the team. Because we could have some real options, man. You could have 2 8s and a 10, one out wide. You could do so many things according to the game. But we're a long way from that. And like I always say, the form we're in, I don't really want to see none of that from Arteta. I want to see wingers play on the wings, 10s play in the 10, 8s playing the 8s and so on and so forth, man. We need why do I keep mute? The mouse isn't even plugged in. That's from my other laptop. We need goals and creative-minded players. Exactly. But you need bravery for that. Certain people, and I more so I see at the Emirates. I can't lie, I've seen Maria and El Nene do it. You lot are professional footballers. Even though we think these footballers are bad, they're still, in comparison to us normal folks, they can do a lot in it. I've done interviews with Arsenal young players. They have told me El Nene's a baller, and I don't doubt it. But when I'm at the Emirates, sometimes El Nene and Marie have done it. I know that I can't read your mind, but I know you can see that pass. I know you can see that difficult pass. I know you could probably do it, even though I don't rate you. Like, you could do it, but they'll either delay. They'll look at their teammate. They'll look at it. They'll not play it. They're like, oh yeah, hey, run, yeah. Bang, sideways pass, and that's the thing I get wrong. I'll still get angry, but I'd rather you attempt that pass. It gets intercepted, and then what happens, because that kills us as a team. There's no bravery, and I don't. You should never be scared to make mistakes, man. We make mistakes, we go again. Anyways, so it's one of them ones. If I'm completely honest, like I said earlier, I just can't take the lack of technicians, man. Maybe it's because I'm a Wenger baby, but I can't accept this no more, man. That's the one thing I want to see change, man. We used to pass ourselves to death. Well, we kind of do now, but it's a different sort of death. One was almost an overdose, and one's just some agony to just die in a slow death, freezing to death alive or something. It's crazy, man. Welks, are we saying? Way too slow. DG off topics, but what are your thoughts on Yusuf Demir? The Barca lad, he was at Rapid Vienna. I think I did a video about him. Decent, man. Decent little technical player. Nice to see him. I think out of all them guys who came off the bench, the left back, is it Balde? Follow him on Twitter and Instagram. Yeah, he impressed me the most. I think Gavi put himself about. Arujo done poor for one of the goals I felt, but I feel he had a decent game for Barca. But Barca's in the mud, my guy. We don't have any players that can consistently create their own chances. We're seriously lacking individual brilliance. Exactly. I mean, I would say individual brilliance to a quality standard, because ironically, that's all we're relying on when Saka, Smith Rowe and Lacazette, or even Pepe and Aubameyang at the weekend just fashion something, but it's not to a good standard. We ain't got no magical players, like you said, that can just snatch us a draw when we're losing, or get us a 3 points and whatever. But I think you can only get them champagne sort of players when you're levels. You know, Salah and Mane, these guys are not gonna shine if you don't address the basics in Liverpool's midfield or at centre half or whatever. You know, and I think while I agree, we need to get the basics in our midfield pattern. Then you can get these Alexises and these guys who, obviously, if they become available, let's do it. But these guys will thrive. It's crazy, man. Even sometimes we just used to even sign players that weren't even that levels, but they could just pass a ball, man. Like, I can't understand it. Like, the DNA of the club, players should be able to pass the ball. So Barca's not the best example, but you shouldn't be able to sign for Barcelona if you're not good with your feet. Now they sign some dog poo players, but yeah, man. We need to get back the midfield players like our best day, Santi, Cazorla, Ozil, and Ramsey. Ooh, man said Ramsey with the technical ballers. Ooh, don't know about that one. That one's a bit smelly still. Ramsey wasn't a bad player, but technician. All I remember is Aaron Ramsey seeing Alexis, Ozil, and Santi doing their thing, and he's trying to get involved and do things above his own pay grade. Good goal scorer, though. The way we position ourselves makes it difficult to open the gaps and break the low block. It's about being quicker on the transitions. The passing is too passive, and that's what's working against us, among other things. Facts. Benayoun. Honestly, the team is good enough on paper. We need someone to make it work. Arteta out. Ramsey weren't that guy. But I don't know what the love affair with Song is. But Song was shit, man. I liked him, but all his highlights are assists and that. Like, people rewrite. You see the thing about football, yeah? People rewrite history. All we used to do is slag Son off every game. Like, we was amazed we shagged Barcelona for the peas, man. You know, Song was all right with a 1-2 passes here and there. You know, set up a couple of good goals, but he was tired, man. Absolutely tired. Not for me, man. Sorry, folks. YouTube is telling me something. All right. We are live. I don't know why you're not telling me I'm live anymore. As a Chelsea fan, I like Sam. Feel he was underrated by Reds. Nah, G. Nah, man. Yeah, Son could have been calm. I think he was shit. Like, I think he's crazy overrated, bro. Crazy overrated. Nasri's what you call cold and a good footballer. You know, he could have been, I feel it great. Like, I don't know how high, but I just feel he's had a good career. Could have been great. Nasri was something else. Haleb was our best player during that era. Shout Haleb, baller as well, but oof. Crazy history being rewritten. I can't respect Song because Song didn't respect himself, bro. Like, that is what I think I actually put that in my videos. Unpopular opinion. Song's such a good passer. How the man didn't get a snowball's chance at Barcelona. Couldn't believe it. Like, just because he's got this little cult hero stuff. All we used to talk about is that his positioning is poor. He's never back. You know, on the recovery, he used to get ripped. He used to do some bewildering things. He defo developed a lot. You know, he's come a long way. You know, defo didn't expect the man when he was at Charlton, when he had his little Charlton loan and whatnot, to come back and do a mazza. But nah, man. There was about 2 years he was looking 30, but nah, rewriting history still. Tired guy, bro. Players need to be allowed to express individual brilliance. To be honest, looks like they're overcoached, and you've got some pussy holes. Crazy. Like, son, I don't know how old you lot are, but Son could be loaded for you lot. Where Son is, that's a biff. Tired guy, man. You lot call this guy some assist king. Like I said, you put up his highlights. He's gonna look wavy. He's assisted Henry. I'm sure he's assisted Van Persie. He's done some elite things, but tired, man. Tired. Probably been a bit harsh on Donny, but no, I'm if deluded man, you can grind big up, teach my children all the time, efforts are rewarded. Hopefully it is rewarded. I don't know if I'm being rewarded, but love for that, man. Appreciate that. Song or Coquelin, what you saying? Song's better than him, but I'd rather Coquelin, to be honest with you. Just run around and tackle, man. And even him, they've been fat, neither, man. I don't want either. Do you think Patino will get a chance? Hopefully. Don't know. He'd have to speak to people at the club. Why would I be salty over Song, you know? Song, you know? Like, Song. Alec Song. Not Cess. Not Nasri. Even bloody Benassia and Guendouzi and that. But Alexander Song. Alright. Rosiski's another baller. Crazy what happened to DRB, man. This is what I'm saying. You lot should be talking about DRB, not that bog standard song. Come on, that's what you call a midfielder. So you know the DRB's a completely different guy to him, but that's what you call a midfielder. Unfortunately, you already know the story that is DRB, man. If Patrick Vieira was the only option, would you take him over Arteta? I mean, if he shows stuff, if he shows his own stuff, why not? But I haven't seen enough from Vieira. You keep doing what you're doing at Crystal Palace, and I'm able to see a proper system, and you do all right. Why not? 400 people in here. We should be close to 400 likes, but I know we're nowhere near there. Nobody rates Zachariah. I don't rate him anymore. I used to. I was heavy a fan of him, and that his progressive passing hasn't improved enough for me over the last 18 months. It's tired, man. It's absolutely tired. Delete that. Obviously, people, depending on where you read and what you read, you know, Leno still might be number one. Purely because allegedly, now you have seen some reports saying, you know, Arteta is going to keep Ramsdale in his spot and whatnot. But there's some people saying, well, this Christian Falk guy, German-based Donny, according to my information, Mikel Arteta promised that Leno will have just a break for 2 matches. So against Tottenham, Leno should be back on the pitch. We'll see if Arteta keeps to his word. Now, I'd wonder, let me know where you lot are with that one, because for me personally, it's Ramsdale's shirt to lose now. And, you know, again, by the end of the season, if it doesn't end with Ramsdale being our number one and looking like that, then we've wasted 30 million and we need to go and find the keeper. You know, Leno, fair play, you can do what you need to do. And if he has promised him that, he's promised him that. But I just think right now, you play Ramsdale, you've got your long-term defense or what it should be. You play him there and whatnot. And keep it moving. Leno, we're just with every good game, we're gonna say, how are we able to keep hold of him? Every bad game, you know, why is he still here questioning his commitment? For me, I'd rather just Ramsdale, just see what Ramsdale can do really and truly. Because again, if we expect him to be the number one, give him his chance now. The games are coming thick and fast. Now, by that logic, that means that, you know, Ramsdale will play against Wimbledon, a team he spent a time on loan at, and then he's out of the lineup for Spurs with Leno going back in. So we'll have to see what happens in that regards, but it all depends really and truly. Like I said, some reports are saying Ramsdale expects to keep his space, and apparently Arsenal expect to keep him. But I mean, even if you look at some of these other reports, folks, on these papers, no, that's Leno doing some heroic stuff. Arsenal set to drop Ramsdale after Burnley and bring Leno back in for Tottenham clash after 2-match break. So then I'm pretty sure they're just going to echo what was already said, people. So we'll have to see if Leno will be back on the pitch and whatnot. And, you know, as Ramsdale's previously said, he relishes the fight. So let's see what could happen there. But I'd rather Ramsdale because, again, he's got a reason to, you know. Leno thinks listen, I don't doubt Leno's professionalism, but Ramsdale wants the number one shirt. So you're going to have a bit more application. Leno thinks he can do better than Arsenal, thinks he can try something. So that subconsciously is always going to filter into how you play. So I think just because of sheer enthusiasm, tenacity, and really just feeling, just wanting to be part of the club's culture, I think you give it Ramsdale personally. Nah, Son wasn't tired, but he was shit, man. Like I said, I'm being harsh with shit, man. He's just one of them. I can't understand the love he gets in the Arsenal fan base. Like, he weren't that good. Like, he was not that good. But this is an Arsenal fan base who just started rating Santi Cazorla. And I know so because when I started my YouTube, I started a YouTube. One of my videos says, how comes, or something along the lines of, why isn't Santi Cazorla appreciated enough? Man, move like if we're naming, I don't even know. Son, I don't even know if Son gets into my best 11 of the Emirates. I can't cap, I can't lie to you. I don't think he does. He might not play, If I really think about it, he might not get no football. Make sure you've hit that like button. The RB was levels. And these men are playing Jeremy Kyle with my club. Arteta is giving himself problems with the Leno Ramsdale situation. Keep it simple. And you can't have two number ones. But I mean, internally, they must know, man. What job was that? What job was this? Because it could have been a defensive mid. Played an average tune. He wasn't a defensive mid. Sod wasn't a defensive mid. Like, he wasn't even staying there. I beg man, go and look at his heat map. You lot can fight. You know what? You lot, it's what? It's so gonna decide what do you lot titties or something. Trust me, I don't know what 11 you man are on about. But yeah, enough of Son, man. Songa doesn't play for us. DG, hope you are doing truly well. Who do you think should partner Partey as an interchangeable 6 and 8? Who would you buy? I mean, we've said it in it. You've got the hours there, you've got Gimares, you've got players of that ilk there. Interchangeable, you've got Lokonga, you might as well use that. If you bring Bissouma, happy for it, man. But boy, I don't know. I don't think I'm playing defensive mids, I don't think I'm playing defensive mids. I'm probably doing the mad thing, people. I'm probably doing what Santi says. Probably Messi Ozil. I'm doing the mad thing, or Nasri or something. I'm doing the Mazza. I can't lie. Glorification of mediocre players are a reason why our expectations remain low for a long time. Trust me. What's it? Marie played like 90 minutes, and man was saying he's the best centre half at the club, and he's better than Gabriel. And you still got fans believing Cedric's levels, and I'm not trying to attack these guys and Chambers and everyone's saying get out El Nene and whatnot. Couple man was saying we can go back to the live streams. Couple people, guys and girls, were saying give El Nene a new deal after that United away game. People don't understand. They can have a good game, but they will show you their level. And I don't know if we tried to, and there are some excuses I can give the club, but personally, I don't think there was ever a better time than last season to sell El Nene, and he's still here. I don't think there was ever a better time to sell potentially Callum Chambers, and he's still here. And, boy, might tell you everything. Probably even Granit Xhaka as well. Trust me, he was sitting, he was the deepest midfielder, but he wasn't disciplined and would run forward like a bad man. Exactly. You man, remember this. I don't know if you man were watching it or if you were at the Emirates. Bro, people calling Marie Don Marie. Bro, the propaganda pieces, like the expectations on the floor. Thoughts on Vinicius Jr. I like him. Still got to develop a bit. Know when to pass, when to shoot. But it looks like his confidence is shining, man. Song or El Nene is a hard one. Now I'm playing Song. Oh, man. Is there any other Arsenal news affecting us? Arteta clearly rates these average man, hence why Xhaka new deal / keeping on, innit? Man asks me, did I rate Arshavin, Me, if I rate Arshavin. I purposely not answering that because if you follow my content, you already know the answer to these things. A couple of them questions there. Big up the Russian Arshavin. That's what you call a baller. When you got man saying Xhaka is better than Vieira on Twitter, this fan base is washed, boy. Fan base is deluded, man. But yeah, a couple of other Arsenal things, people. TT says playing for Arsenal in the Premier League is a dream come true. Scrolling down, he said, I'm buzzing to be here because Arsenal is one of the biggest clubs in the world. And to play in the Premier League was my big dream, when I was young. So I'm happy to be here. I never imagined that I could play as a player for Arsenal. So I'm so excited. As I say, Arsenal is one of the biggest clubs in the world. When asked on his position, he said, I think I can play with both feet. I can play every position as a defender. So obviously, that opens up, if need be, you could play left back. We don't want to see that. Right back, if anything, back three, centre half, and and things like that. He said, I'm an intelligent player, so I always read the next situation. For me, it doesn't matter where I play because the most important thing is to play the game. So if the coach told me to play striker, I would play striker. And I mean, what can I say? Fantastic attitude. I like the fact that you said you're an intelligent footballer because you can't be intelligent in life, much like football, if you don't absorb information. And the best way to do that is to read. Now, in a footballing sense, that means read situations. If you see a winger that needs to be pressed, you either tell your player to go press or you press and cover the space. If you realize you need to tuck in, if just simple things, just competent things that we don't see at Arsenal Football Club, people. So yeah, man. I mean, that's I love to hear that from him, people, really and truly. So yeah, that's TT. Boy, I thought there was something else bugging out, people. We've already read the Leno thing, haven't we? So that's where that one ends. Timestamps. Even someone said Wilshere in that best 11 of the Emirates. Even Wilshere gets in before Son. This one I'm talking about. Prime Emirates Jack Wilshere in his prime. Come on, man. A Song even get ahead of Arteta? No, I'm playing. I'm not doing him that dirty. Well, that's what we're here to speak about. That's. I knew something was being missed out. What's the chances of XHAKA starting against Spurs? I wouldn't be surprised if he drops Sambi. Apparently, he's back in training and he could be available for the Spurs game. People, he's back in training with Arsenal after recovering from COVID-19. Whatever you think on XHAKA, health is most important, and we wish him, that he never has a relapse of such, people. As you lot know, he will miss the game against Burnley this weekend, and he'll also be absent for the game against Wimbledon. Now, naturally, that means XHAKA is probably going to play against Spurs because, I don't know, maybe PARTEY doesn't play against Wimbledon, but I'd assume Lokonga plays all of these games. Such is life. Ainsley could get in, but I think XHAKA will be brought back in as well. Again, whether that's the right thing to do, I don't know. But there's a lot of games to be played, and although we're only playing once a week, we still need to protect the boys in our squad. Play versus Spurs. You're playing for Real Madrid, you are quality. They only look at quality. Kevin, that's facts. But at the same time, they have... What's that Ferber brother they signed? Real Madrid signed. And they signed a couple duds, man. Who did they sign from West Ham? Let me find him. Sign West Ham. I need to find that. What is it? That's my man's name. This is Donny's name. He went Real Madrid on loan, so you get the point. You mentioned quality, and you're not wrong. Do you remember this brother? I know everyone gets it wrong, but do you not remember this brother? Bear man don't remember him. So it's not always the case, man. For me, I only remember him for his 4 goals at Liverpool. That's nonsense, boy. What about against Blackburn, and against Barcelona and half these teams, but even Spurs? No, man. Man said West Ham legend. Man said is that Roberto Carlos? To be fair, he could get a gig as a stunt double. To be fair with you. Discipline is mad in their culture. Hopefully it translates. And I mean, that's one thing I like about when we typically sign Asian players, or you see them, whether it's Son or whatever, they're very disciplined with what they're doing. They're very consistent. Like, I don't know what they're eating, but you can tell, the diet. They're disciplined. They're disciplined in everything. They're very professional. And they're very respectful as well. And they're just dedicated to their crafts as well. So yeah, hopefully all of that ties off. Make sure, for extra content, you're following me on Twitch. As I keep saying, watch along business, 5:20, Borussia Dortmund versus Besiktas, Borussia Dortmund. After that, it's Inter versus Real. So content. Seems like TT is built differently, but time will tell. Time will tell, bro. And for me, it's a bit like Teeny. It's like, is he going to go through the Teeny thing? You bad it up. You're one of the good players, but eventually, like we've seen with Tini right now, you start succumbing to the mentality and the performances that your team, the other guys are doing. Lol. Bellerin used to get trapped into playing stupid passes out the back. Glad we have a two-footed man there now that doesn't take chances and does the basics. Hope he flourishes. Graverson from Everton. To be fair, he's rich now, apparently, man. He invested his P's and got even richer. No, Kevin, we know, man. Most times they sign quality. They're just playing a bit of fun, man. Real Madrid love a dodgy business, man. No valid reason to drop Lokonga/Partey, but guarantees Xhaka is starting versus Spurs. And I hope he takes his chance, man. Appreciate you, SB, for the super chat. Man, them no Arshavin was good. The goal versus Barca. Facts. Quality player, man. And I class him as a big money signing because at the time Arsenal were broke, man. I remember that whole day, man, thinking it isn't going to happen. It's snowing. What a player, man. What a player. Love that guy. That's what you call a baller. But man, I want to talk about Son. Song and these sort of guys. Player, man. I'm just trying to rattle people now. He's saying that she good. Arsenal should sign big player. I mean, we'd all like that, but I want us to sign the right players because we've spent a lot of money on certain signings and they've been quote unquote big players at that time, or for the money they've spent ain't really worked out. Man said already know Xhaka's got Arteta's news. Brother is walking back into the team, or maybe he picks up the tab in Williams' restaurant. Don't know. Smash the like button. I discovered a side of Twitter today that are gassing a Xhaka Partey pivot. They don't learn. It's not it. It's not it. I'm sorry. It's not it. And this is why I'm going to look at Arteta because, you know, things can change. It might not be what he wants. But to me as an Arsenal fan, bro, it looked like Xhaka was going. You've given Xhaka a new deal. The minute Xhaka signed that new deal, the Neves links, obviously, you know, before that, he was going. There was Neves links. There was Locatelli, whether he was getting him or not. There was the links there. Owl was there. You know, there was talk of Maddison to come and even play as at 8. There was all of these things. That went away. So, all right, cool. It's gone away. It didn't happen. That tells me you're betting on Granit. That tells me you're believing him and Partey are the guys, or him and Lokonga are the guys together. That partnership will let you down. Now, obviously, Partey's problems is fitness. You need depth. Xhaka, I don't think he was terrible last season, but it's a mixture of your not levels and also when it's crunch time, you'll let man down and you can't, you know. And for me, I always say it. The pros of Xhaka being in that team, do they outweigh the cons? You know, with Jorginho, sometimes he might give away a pen or to give away a silly pass or just have a stinker. But he's not the best defensively. But you know what Jorginho's going to give you in that Chelsea team and how allowing better players to stay further forward. You know what it's bringing to the table. Does Xhaka bring that? I don't think Xhaka is a bad player. I do think he's misunderstood to a degree. I do think there are elements of what he does when he plays that potentially might be underestimated or understated by Arsenal fans. But it's meaty, you know, it's not strong foundations. That midfield, you know, is an issue. I don't have a problem with a player being average, but if you're average, what you do, make sure you do it to a quality standard, and he don't do that. You know, the best midfielders can do things. You know, if things take 2 touches, I always say, if things take 3 touches, you take 3 or less. You don't take 10, and you've got this bad cocktail of Xhaka once every 90 minutes can play a ball over the top and he wants the ball and things, but you've got the mixture of him and his mistakes. And then obviously with the exception of Lokonga now and Partey, you've got players who are going to play it safe like El Nene and things. So it's tired, man. It's tired. And if you're going to use Xhaka, for me, he's got to be doing the El Nene thing, the squad sort of role guy, not first name in the team sheet sort of thing. Because he is in Arteta's mind. He is in them plans, you know, in the same when you're looking at it and he's like, oh, okay, Tierney, Saka, he's putting Xhaka there, really. So we'll have to see, man. But do I think, you know, is Partey / Xhaka pivot good enough? Myth. It's a myth. You can't look at that and think it's I definitely think it's enough to play better than what we've been doing, like with everyone, but it's a myth. You can't look at that and think that's serious. That's hit and miss. They're gonna have the games where they lock it down. They're gonna have the games where it don't work. You know, last season, all we sat there and said is there were games people were saying, I'm not going to lie, Xhaka makes Partey look good. But they were saying, how many times last season did we sit there and say, okay, Xhaka's not in the team. Partey looks like he understands what he can do and what areas he can get into and all of these sort of things. So it's a myth, bro. It's not good enough. Like, and it's not even me sitting there and saying I want world-class players and things. Just Xhaka will let you down. Like with all of these guys, man. It's tired. It's mad tired, man. Man said what goes on in Arteta's mind terrifies me. And on top of that, as I always say, them man, they are midfielders. Arteta was a midfielder. So if you're saying it terrifies you more, it terrifies you, surely that scares you more because he was saying when he came into the job, he listed Arsenal's issues, you know. He listed Arsenal's issues, especially that midfield. If you can be an Arsenal midfielder when we was actually good and say that these men are levels together, it's a myth. Because when Partey gets injured, what's the levels? And that's my only criticism of Partey. Xhaka is just not there, you know. In relation to a Sambi and Lokonga partnership, I'm on that. But again, the next scale becomes there's not enough in midfield. Like it don't complement enough. If you've got chicken, you need some rice, man. You can't just have rice and just chicken all the time, or just chicken by itself. It's gonna get dead. You need the both of them. You need to throw some you know, just some coleslaw and some gravy and some mac and cheese. I'm making myself hungry, but you need different, you know, some plying. I am making myself very hungry, but you get the point. There needs to be different complements. It's the same dish. It's tired. And then, like I said, low block is not helping no one. Like, I don't understand. The last 2 years, this team has needed to be improved in midfield, and it hasn't. Yeah, you've got Smith-Rowe's emergence and you've got Odegaard, and they press well and all of these things, but they're men behind them. It's dead. It's dead. Like, you knew when Partey came in, you needed a partner for Partey that's levels. Clearly, you've bet on Xhaka, so fair play. You know, just make it work, man. You think Arteta allows Xhaka because he was an average midfielder himself? Maybe it's projecting, because it does seem like all the reballs are getting opportunities and all the good players aren't. Fair play, man. Man said Arteta used to train week in, week out with Ronaldinho, you know, and this is the football he inspires. But he clearly weren't training with the real G's. You weren't in the locker room with the real G's. You were just teammates. It's like, oh, you doing? You weren't doing the samba, flicking the boots in the changing room and all them things. You wasn't doing that, man. It's tired, man. Partey says Xhaka is good for a mid-table. If the club wants to move up, Xhaka has to move to the bench or Roma's bench. Kills me. Xhaka has like 5 excellent games a season and is below average after that. That's true. But you see the wickedest thing? I think Xhaka was better than a couple of other players. I think Arteta made Xhaka look all right last season. This is why I said at the start, there's never been a better time, if you're a serious club, to sell Granit Xhaka, to sell El Nene, to sell Chambers, because they, by their own standards, as much as you can say it about a team that finished 8th, you get it. So again, you know, Xhaka was the best thing since sliced bread. He's prime age. He had a good Euros on top of an okay season individually, I'd say. And Roma didn't want to pay an extra 2 bob for him. A player that Jose admires from his Arsenal days, from the days he was managing at United and whatnot. A player that he feels would fit the league and fit his system to a T. They didn't want to pay extra 2-3 million. Now you can call them broke, or you can say why. You know, and I see a question. It's gone now, but someone asked, was the contract to protect his value? Clearly, but what value is that being protected? I'm struggling to sell this player. Let's extend this deal. Madness, man. I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion, but I'd keep El Nene over Xhaka. Most of our top 6 wins, El Nene has been in the side, not because he's a great player, but he retains possession and makes little mistakes. Khalid, nah, I'm not on that still. I'd rather keep Xhaka. In fact, both of you go, man. El Nene, you know what? El Nene is happier to just sit on the bench. So in theory, probably him. But I can't lie. You can say that about Xhaka, because Xhaka's played a key part in beating Chelsea a couple of times. You know, apart from El Nene against United, off the top of my head, what's he done? Xhaka's been part of beating Spurs. I can't cap. Xhaka's been part of winning some good games. I cannot lie. And he scored a couple sizzlers, I remember. I'm sure he done one against United, and I'm sure he done one against Chelsea. But that's dead, man. They both need to keep it moving. And to be fair, to keep El Nene, you'd have to give him a new deal as well. You know, it was never been a better time to sell El Nene. He played 30-odd times for Arsenal last season. We've been off the back of a loan spell where they didn't want to buy him. We've been trying to flog him for time. And the wickedest thing about our midfield is, it's not even that it's average. It's like, what are you average at? You know, you ain't got workhorses that, all right, cool, you lot do your playing thing. We're just going to rattle you, win the ball back. You ain't got technicians. You ain't got guys that are a bit of both. What are we? We don't defend. We don't press well. We don't dictate play. We're not technical. It's a dangerous game Arsenal are playing in that midfield. It's a very dangerous game that we're playing in with not addressing that midfield. And I want to be wrong, of course, but it's among other things, it's gonna let us down eventually. Foundations of the house are not strong. We always say this. Now you're playing Ramsdale and all these guys. That's great, but again, you're gonna have to, if you're honest with yourself, Arteta. If you are here, you can't look at that midfield and think it's levels. El Nene makes hella mistakes. How many times is El Nene not pressing and losing the ball in midfield? El Nene makes plenty of mistakes. And this ain't me trying to be the XHAKA defender, but they can both go. But it's like, I just don't like when Arsenal fans do things like that. There's no point capping, man. They're both shit. El Nene's got legs, but bro, that's how you know you're not good in midfield. If we're saying work rate and legs in midfield, he runs about. We only say that when players aren't good. I say that about a couple of my brethren at Sunday League. Oh, no, he's not dead, man. He puts a shift in. He wears his heart on his sleeve. That's because you're tired. Like, bro, if we type in El Nene mistakes, there's probably hella mistakes, man. And he probably makes less mistakes because he plays less. They're both dead, man. Look at ourselves, Arsenal fans. Look at what we're doing. But he's better than him, bro. We're fighting over some bog standard players, man. Both of them are good for 5 games a season, man. And when it's XHAKA, he'll come out and talk in the interview. When it's El Nene, it's them videos of every first touch. Arsenal need to buy XHAKA and maybe even our next season. That the boat's gone, man. The boat's gone. They both don't cut it, Van Damme. That's it, bro. Like, heart, bro. Wear your heart on your sleeve, but be good in it. Like, them man don't wear their heart. No one at this football club. Well, they do, but these guys don't. Because when it's time to do that stuff, it's not levels, man. Man said Fred can join Arsenal. Moving mad. Yeah, Wilshere is better, but he's a flight risk. Kind of like Partey. He's a flight risk. How do you feel about a midfield three of Odegaard, Smith Rowe, and Partey? We'd finally look creative, but for me, Partey looked like he was left on an island. It wouldn't be my first choice, but I'd rather explore it if you can teach them. I mean, it's an option I would like to see, man. We're only having the conversation because Arteta is making XHAKA the main man. Facts. And to be fair to Arteta, well, maybe this is what failed. This is one of the reasons Wenger failed in his later stages. Emre didn't get over the line, and Arteta right now is struggling. There's got to be a reason all of them played him, sorry. But then it's a madness. For me, it's just the fact that, like you lot, it's not even... It's the mistakes. Like, that's what I mean when I say it's the cons outweigh the pros. The pros don't outweigh the cons with Granit Xhaka. And it's just... Like, you're not certain at anything. Like, it's not like you're getting on the ball and making things happen, but it's tired, man. I know. And then you're just fearful, man. I'd have been open to XHAKA leaving this summer and then they just run down your deal, your little squad player. You don't make too much noise. It's one of them ones. That's harsh, man. XHAKA is a quality player at passing the ball backwards, sideways, slow, and mistake-prone football. For the progressive attacking and pressing, Arsenal want to play. Said, no. Man says XHAKA is blackmailing for sure. I don't think he is, man. I've got to the point now. I've actually stopped getting vexed at the players. Arteta genuinely thinks these men are 30. To be fair to XHAKA, I think one thing that didn't help him, again, is the propaganda. You had his former Arsenal colleague and former Switzerland teammate saying he's Swiss Perlo, all these propaganda pieces, he's comparisons with Kante. That, to be fair, the club weren't there. None of these things helped him. Pardon me. XHAKA plays a couple of decent passes a game and makes a few risky challenges that sometimes pay off because he doesn't get into any top 6 team currently. Fact. El Nene's feelings about to be hurt if he watches the stream. No, man, I like El Nene for what it's. I don't think he's. I just think you're not levels in it. Like, what are you, El Nene? You're not DM. You're a box to box man. When we bought you, we was told you're a DM. You're a box to box man. You can't really pass the ball forward. I like how he looks like a fan. He plays with integrity. With El Nene, you kind of understand kind of what he is a bit more. Could be a squad player, but it's tired, man. XHAKA is slightly 30 if Arsenal tax is removed. Nah, he's just not a bad player. Like, you could be a baller, but it's tired, man. El Nene's a squad player, but they're both squad players, man. Both need to move, though. We need a CDM, asking plenty of Lokonga this early. To be fair to you, I think we could get away with that in the summer, man. I can't lie to you. I'd like to see a more creative midfielder in Jan. I think you've got El Nene for half a year. Obviously, if people leave in Jan, it's another thing. I think you could get away with it between Ainsley and El Nene if needed. Now, Khalid, I think everyone's agreeing with what you're saying. I'd just both of them go, man. And this is it. We asked 10 people. Certain man going to say El Nene's a DM. Then they're going to say he's a box-to-box. Another player, what is he? But, you know, I like El Nene. He obviously backed against Barca and that. He's a cool guy, man. He's a cool guy. Man said, I'd rather bring back prime FA youth cut Craig Eastman than El Nene. To be fair, he was kind of sick. I remember when Arsenal fans, don't say me, wanted El Nene to sign a new deal after his performance at Old Trafford. Trust. Arsenal fans drop their knickers too easily. You don't need to value yourselves a bit more. Too promiscuous. You lot claim your prestige. Any little fella that comes around or galley that shows a bit of interest, you lot are dropping. Bro, exactly, and that's Xhaka's problem. Xhaka's problem is he's only good when he's got a million years on the ball, where everybody's good, much like our team. And then there's Mandem. He's a cool guy, man. It's one of them. It's like he's a cool guy. Like I want you to leave because we need to move on, but you're cool, man. And the wickedest thing is, I'd rather push to get Xhaka out the club before El Nene. From a tactical point of view, that's probably silly, but get the point. Lokonga, Partey, Bissouma, or Partey, Aouar, Bissouma would be decent. Not gonna lie. Like the video, it's free and it helps DG out. You're right, Beyonce. It gets the engagement levels up. There's 460 odd of you locked in. We're only at a 226 likes. You're not doing the guy dirty, man. What's going on? We're having a fantastic conversation. Seems to be all we have as Arsenal fans, man. Rather have Xhaka back than Xhaka, I would, but tired. Xhaka will look like a baller in Italy. I can't lie. I don't think Xhaka is a bad footballer. I just think you've got too much bad mistakes. That's what we said. I think Xhaka isn't terrible, but tired. And I don't even think that as well. I think he'll look exactly the same, man. Morning to you, Carl. Like, I do think Xhaka gets scapegoated at times, but it's tired, man. At least Xhaka can say, well, at least I do my thing for Switzerland and that. I mean, didn't have to get rid of Ismail Benatia. Would you take Ramsey back on loan with an option to buy? Nah. I mean, the loan thing, I'll do them dirty. I'm open to, you know, paying a bit of his wages on a loan and then not taking it through. But I just think, nah, man. I think he's just average. His one-footedness and lack of literal movement to force him to pass backwards all the time unless he has pure space. And I think the thing I don't like about Xhaka now is obviously if you're playing against Chelsea, you're going to think of, you know, press Jorginho. We've done it against them. You know, we did it, you know, Spurs, you're going to press their key men. City, you're going to try to, you know, if you play United, you make sure Pogba can't do anything receiving it deep. You know, Fred ain't doing nothing. Suddenly, Bruno and these guys are out the game. So you're always going to press them. But for me, I just think teams, beyond all the obvious problems with Arsenal, and I'm not trying to make this the Xhaka hate campaign or anything. It's just every time we lose or something happens, you look at, I don't know whoever, yeah, of that team, they always say things like, yeah, in training, press Xhaka, or we was told to press this guy or that guy, and it always is Xhaka. So again, man are targeting you, among other things that Arsenal have problems with. So that's my issue with him. And it's just, you're not levels, man. It just, you ain't a bad player, but it's tired, man. Oh, Willock's gonna be our last year, Emmy Martinez. Seems like the Joe Willock hype train's gone down at that moment. Something I love about this community is, in the grand scheme of things, we're all on the same page, and if not, it's civil. Exactly, man. That's what it's about. One love to the DG nation. We're not telling you what to think, it's just to think, you know. It'd be a very boring life if we all saw life, football the same way. We all, you know, I think we all know that Xhaka and Elneny is dead, but like rubbish, but it is what it is. What do you think of Dwight McNeil? Considering we've got him on Saturday, I think he's a good player. But do you know what? I might be tweaking, but I actually think maybe it's just me. I would attempt to turn him into a fullback. You know, I think there might be something there with him. I don't know of his willingness to defend, saying that he plays for Burnley, but he's good, man. He's decent. I don't know his true level, but I like him. I wouldn't say he's a throwback player, but he strikes me as a throwback player in that he seems like one of these only there's only a few wingers that really want to just take you down the byline, you know, get chalk on their boots, as they used to say. All the others, they want to come inside and play 1-2s and all of these sort of things. Are you doing a watch along for Liverpool versus Milan? I'll have it on a separate tab, but no, I can't. I can't say I am. I'm doing Inter Milan, Real Madrid. This is the game I want to watch, man. I think Real Madrid might surprise people in this Champions League. I love Ramsey and Wilshere, but it's time to move on, people. It's time to move on from bare things. If we had to bring back one, the logical one is probably Ramsey. My heart is saying Jack Wilshere, so I'm going to follow that. I think we've committed to looking for more athletic profiles in our recruitment, and I'm happy with that, to be fair. Enough of this technical specialist with bare weakness, but we haven't even got that, and I still think you need that, but I hear it. But then you need a balance. The key word is balance. You can't have a bunch of piano pushers because no one can play the piano and no one's going to buy tickets. You can have a piano player, but the piano pusher needs to put the piano in the main theater, or no one's going to watch the symphony the symphony and whatever. It's one of them ones, man. In your opinion, how much better are Saka and Smith Rowe than other English youth coming through other top 6 sides? I don't know. You'd have to throw some names. You know, I don't think any of them. I don't think either player talks to Greenwood. I mean, man said Greenwood. I mean Foden. I think, you know, it's kind of even with the Greenwoods and things. They can hold their weights. More Saka, Smith Rowe. You know, probably going to start the Harvey Elliott comparisons. They're all right, man. And to be honest with you, with respect, it don't even matter, man. As long as they do all right for us. Fred doesn't do anything apart from when it comes to those Champions League nights. To be fair, he got spun a couple of times, but he at least tried yesterday. But it's too easy. You see your team, G1, it's too easy to clock United now. You know, them, what's his name? If Maguire plays, if Varane plays, they're going to have a lot of the ball. It's a bit like Arsenal. You're going to try look for sure. Pogba's going to come deep, try get on the ball. You know, you kind of cut off Pogba and make it hard for him. Fred is going to stand right next to him. Bruno has to drop people out the game. That's why I think you, man, need a couple of midfielders to free to just find balance. Verge would be perfect. Nah. Regardless, Xhaka should have been rubbed out for dashing the armband. Should have just been rubbed out because he can't go further, man. I don't mind Xhaka as a player. It's just a rash decision making by him that tilts me. Exactly. Xhaka just typifies what Arsenal do. We put players in elevated positions that they're not squad. There's players that should be squad players. We look at them to be the regulars. Why do you think immediately we used to give Giroud a hard time at times, deservedly so. He went on droughts and that. But why do you think he got a lot more praise at Chelsea? Obviously for just joining a team that's going to win things. You know, he wasn't their main guy. Now there was times he was pulled in and he did his thing and he stood up to be counted, but he was sitting on the bench and whatnot. We wanted Giroud to be our 20 league man, goal man, striker, and it didn't bang. BG, the criticism on Xhaka has always seemed too harsh to me. Though he's not what we need to challenge, he has been so unlucky to play under a manager that understands his qualities. How's he unlucky there, bro? I don't understand. Yeah, that's all Maguire does. Fine, you're living a movie. That's deep. Nah, Xhaka does bring a couple things to the table, but it's not the right ingredients, man. Yeah, I did see Ours last game. But you know what it is with me? I'm tired of Kareem Adeyemi, all these guys, man. I'll stop talking about it now because we're not allowed to dream as an Arsenal fan. You might as well just leave it there, man. DG's lives have a combination of football information with a feel you're with the man then playing Pro Evo 07 rolling I not even Pro 6, you know, rate the thing a bit. DG, how do you feel if Arsenal signed Saint-Maximin? What would be your thoughts? I mean, he's an exciting player, but nah, man, he's the next one that needs a bit more polishing, and we're not even polishing the tools that we have right now. I like McNeil, great delivery, but probably not Arsenal good if that's even a thing still. Trust me, I'm surprised Burnley don't have, their numbers aren't 1 to 11 sort of thing for their starting 11. Need balance, pure footballers and no bite under Wenger. Now some bite and no gifted players in midfield or anywhere really. Or players that try, that believe in themselves, man. The poll being so close is telling we need a DM/8. I ain't even checked the results of the poll. Make sure you're hitting the vote button and all of those things on that, people. Where is it? It's not even let me see. Well, currently, 53% are saying we need a number 8. 48% are saying we need a CDM. So there's nothing in it. So that tells you we need both. And let's go back to 2 summers ago, not last summer, the summer before, when the club was making us think, you know, certain man was saying, and girls were saying our Partey, where you needed, if not both of them players, the skill set of both. They complement each other, the yin and yang and all of that. I think Bukayo can do it, but he's not that good defensively. 1v1, he's not. He doesn't want. He'll do it, but he doesn't want to do it. So I don't think he'll work out. But why not? Pro 6 was the best. Anyone disagreeing is even mad. We've needed both for 5 years. DG, do you think AC Milan can get a result against Liverpool the way they've been playing? It's going to be an exciting game, and that's why I'm going to have it on a slide just on the corner, because I know Ibrahimovic ain't there, but you know, Tonali's getting a lot of praise. He's doing his thing, maybe. But I'd imagine Liverpool run riot. But you know, obviously, it's not a supporting English teams in this Arsenal not in it. I want people to join me. So yeah, man. Hopefully, AC Milan can do exactly that and win the game. Imagine Xhaka for Leeds. It's a myth. Well, we'd all love Jude Bellingham, but that one is gone now, man. No, I can't lie. I do think Xhaka wants to get onto the ball. I do think he is quote unquote progressive. I do think he's got a decent mentality. I do think he can be that defensive midfield link. I do think Xhaka is a decent footballer. I just think he's got bad habits and it's just elevated even more at Arsenal. And he's exposed individually. He exposes the thing systemically. He's just not good enough. But I do not think he's a bad footballer. There's only 2 footballers in the Arsenal team that or contracted to Arsenal that I actually think are bad footballers, and that's Runnison. And over the years, I've come to say Bellerin, because I genuinely look at you two and I'm like, I don't understand how you two are footballers. You don't look anything like a right back, much less a footballer. You don't look like a goalie. You might look like a goal. You might look like a goalie on loan in Belgium right now, but yeah, you don't look like a goalie for me. I don't think it's a slow thing for Xhaka, because it's not obviously because he's out of position. It is. You can be as there's been bare slow midfielders. If you read the game well, it's cool. You won't get put out. You won't get dragged out of position as much. You will be able to distribute the ball. I don't even think it's because he's slow. Maybe slower foot. I mean, it'd be nice if Hakan can slap in a free kick. Giroud, you know, I'm sure he'll do something. DG doesn't even want to talk about young gems now. We'll overlook them. I've got more hopes in Bissouma in an Arsenal shirt. Do you know what it is? It's just what you lot bring me in it. This is what these lot sign. I'm at the point now where I don't know if you lot are going to do the right job. And I know, and the saddest thing is, there's some good people working at Arsenal, you know. There's some good people working at Arsenal. And that's the saddest thing. Like, there's some people that really try hard, that feel the way you lot feel. There's some good people, especially where the youth recruitment is as well. There's some good people working at Arsenal, and it just feels like, what's the point? We're winning it. PSG, you know, obviously we've got, you know, it's time for our new manager, for our relatively new manager, Pochettino, to show us something. Obviously, we hope Messi can. It's going to be a big test. You know, you can't write off anyone, but I see no reason as to why we can't bring it home to Paris. Man said 3 signings in January, bro. Again, if you could, just bring me Hossam Aouar, Adeyemi, and this is it, man. Xhaka is a good player, but he never learns from mistakes. And apparently he's supposed to be a leader. He's not the leader we need. He needs to go in January. He is a leader, but fair play. You have to be able to turn, though. I think you can turn on the ball. You just can't turn off it. And no, you can't turn on the ball. You're right, bro. Bro, this is what you said. I'm not disagreeing with anything you said. I don't think Xhaka's there for a paycheck, if I'm honest with you. The man just got some bad habits, man. Crazy. Said it so casually, innit? Bro, we both at PSG. You like Andy Cole, don't you, G1? Where did he start off at? Man said, what's the point if DJ ain't the head of youth recruitment or whatever the role is? I appreciate that, man. Don't think I'll ever have that. But what would be your outgoings for January? Well, it's a techie one because at least I'd probably at this point let Lacazette and El Nene walk away for free. But I think that's obviously midfield and striker recovery. But offers come for them. You can go Eddie, obviously try and get something. If you can move on Kolasinac, why not? See what's going on with Maitland-Niles and Callum Chambers and these guys on the cusp of the team. Probably say them. I wouldn't try and do too much, if I'm honest with you. Make sure you're following on Twitch, folks. And this is what I'm saying, Xabi Alonso. When you're an intelligent footballer, Jorginho, but I probably reckon Jorginho beat Xhaka in a race. But we'll be if we said do 100 meters, them man they're gonna be there for 2 weeks. It'll probably be quite even, you know. When you got it up here, but it don't matter. My thing with Xhaka is he plays quite blinkered. Like it's like, he did go Inter. It's quite blinkered. On a real, we need Partey to stay fit and number 8 or a CDM and let Partey loose, but he needs to stay fit. Let's hope so, bro. Does Xhaka dust him? Honestly, I don't know, man. DJ is getting cold. I need a jumper. Drop a link, please. Where's my Nightbot with the links? But obviously, I can point you in the right direction. We're only at 281 likes, people. What's all that about? What's all that? Come on, people. What's all that about? Aye? What's all that about? Hope not, but I'll be man won the Euros and the chaps can't really disagree with him. Come on. Nightbot's done his thing. Bro, Perlo was slow. Bear man are slow, bro. When you're good, you can get away with your deficiencies. But when you recognize your weaknesses, you can get away with a lot. Does Xhaka have self-awareness to know, okay, I'm slow. I maybe shouldn't be trying to press with Aubameyang. Now, if the manager's telling him to do that, he's doing him dirty, but fair play. But again, between the two of you, you're moving mad. Really mad. Mertesacker with Dash Xhaka. What do you think of Charlie Patino? Seems like a great talent, very good footballer. Hopefully he can develop. For all extended opinions, just type my name next to his on YouTube. In fact, you can see an interview. Bro, when you're slow, do you know what it is? I reckon Perlo would probably beat him in a race. Why? Because speed of thought, he would have assessed the situation. You know, that man find a lot of space. You know, that somehow he'll find his way without moving. He'll be at the finishing line. While Xhaka's probably looking somewhere else. Garlic will have growing pains as well. But it's a madness, man. It is what it is, man. But yeah, people, we've been here for an hour and a half, so I'm going to love and leave you lot, but I'm going to need you lot to do one thing just before we get out of here. Obviously, make sure you're here on Twitch. After this, people, 5:20, it's going to be Besiktas versus Borussia Dortmund. And then obviously back over here on YouTube, you've got Inter versus Real, people. So yeah, make sure you don't miss a beat, people. I'll drop the link one more time. It's pinned to the live message. I think this video will take you to that landing page. If you're not going to be there, hit the like button and things like that. That's the first one. And then obviously, you know, you've got the big one in the second one. And, you know, I don't know why I want Real Madrid to win, to be fair with you, but it's nothing that deep. So yeah, make sure you're at both of them, people. The content never ever stops. It's the show with rants tomorrow. Yeah, but you're about 24 hours ahead, bro. I respect it. I respect the intent, but chill, bro. Bill will lead, man. So yeah, man, that's that. Make sure you're there, really and truly. It is what it is. So yeah, man, gonna love and leave you lot. It's been a fantastic hour and 30 odd minutes. We've been here for a football game, but yeah, I'm out.
So it's always just that active and defending.
I think it's like